Hello, welcome to Vinyasa Yoga. I am Monica and I'll be leading you through today's practice. All you'll need is some space to do yoga and music if you feel like listening to something you enjoy, or you can practice in silence with me, although I will talk a lot, so not that silent. Let's get started in sitting. Or if you prefer to lay down, you could also lay down if you want to start kind of lower energy. So you could sit cross-legged, or you could sit on your heels, or whatever's most comfortable to you right now. Especially if you don't sit like this a lot, you could put something underneath your seat, like a pillow or a blanket, to kind of bring the floor closer to you. So we'll start by closing the eyes, or maybe looking forward at something and focusing your gaze on something. Just arriving in the present moment. Taking a deep breath in and out. Just starting simple. We're not going to ask too much of ourselves today. I want your goal to be to just make it through this video, to make it through this practice, and to just persist. So the goal is not to do everything perfectly or right, if that even is possible, but more about kind of having a little date with yourself, or if you're with someone else, friend date or a date, and just committing to being present, or attempting to be present for 30-ish minutes, and arriving into your body, perhaps for the first time today, perhaps for the first time in a week, in your life, whatever it may be. What does it feel like to just be here? Notice what your brain thinks about when I say arriving in your body. What does that mean to you? There's no right answer. As you arrive in your body here, begin to notice new things, new sensations, patterns of breathing. Just see how you are here. Notice your energy level. And my hope for you is that whatever you're hoping to get out of this practice, you get. So I encourage you to move how you'd like to move, and use my words as a guidance. If there's a certain stretch you really need, if there's something you need to skip, whatever it may be, do your thing and make this your own. Curate your own practice. Make this a big bang for its buck. Or I don't think I said that right, but you know what I mean. So hands together to the heart center, deep breath in and out. Just letting go of your day so far. Just exhaling any stale or possibly negative energy you're harboring. Just be here, breathing in new, fresh energy, and breathing out anything you don't need. One more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, bringing the arms up above the head, inhale. And exhale, side bend to your right. Right hand comes down to the mat as you open through the chest. And then notice if the stretch feels better, if you kind of dial the chest down versus dialing the chest up. Stretches different muscles. Maybe you feel stiffer in one direction. And then other way, left or right arm reaches up. you're bending to the left, maybe the forearm comes to the ground. Again, you could dial the chest up. This is more of a chest opener, pec stretch, or dialing down, perhaps getting more of a lat stretch or scapular muscle stretch. And then bringing it back up. Good, fingertips alongside you. Broaden the collarbone here. Lengthen the back of the neck by bringing the chin slightly down. Breathe. So try to find a really long posture here. You're pulling the lower abdominals in. You're lengthening through the upper back by bringing the shoulders back. And then chin down. Good. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Making your way to all fours. And if cat-cow feels good to you here, you could do that. Or any other kind of spinal motion, kind of side bending if that feels good, or a child's pose. So maybe you're inhaling to lift the tailbone and the head. And then exhaling to drop the tailbone and the head. So linking your breath with your movement is a hallmark of Vinyasa yoga. So we're trying to, with each inhale and with each exhale, find a different movement. And so I'm going to say inhale and exhale a lot during this class, and I want you to try your best to use your own breath as the guide. So whenever you're inhaling is when you do the action. And just try to lengthen your breath and be guided by that. One more time. Exhaling, arching the spine up. Inhaling, lifting the tailbone and the head, dropping the belly. And then coming back to center, activating the lower abdominals, pulling the belly button up towards the spine, lengthening the back of your neck, and drawing the shoulder blades together. In and out here. And then walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Perhaps you feel a stretch in the backs of the legs or the calves. And you can maybe walk out the dog if you want to bend one knee, then the other. Whatever feels good here. Spreading the fingers wide in 10 different directions. And it's really common that people might have wrist discomfort with downward dog. So really thinking about bringing more of the weight on the inside of the hands can help. You also could play around with using more of a fist action, or you can do dolphin on your elbows. But if you're working to kind of strengthen the wrists, make sure the fingers are wide. And then we're going to walk, step, or lightly hop towards the front of the mat. Forward fold, exhale. Shake the head out, no and yes. Keeping the knees as bent as you need them to be, especially if you feel pretty stiff in the hamstrings. This is a really good place to start with a super big bend in the knees, or maybe just a slight bend, depends on how you feel. Walking the hands to the outside edge of the left foot. Walking the hands out to the outside edge of the right foot. Back to center, and then uncurling the spine, coming up towards standing. Shoulders back, long spine here. Finding yourself in mountain pose. So palms forward, feet underneath the hips. And then maybe close the eyes here, just like we were in sitting. Drawing the shoulder blades back behind you, lengthening the back of your neck by bringing the chin down. Pulling the abdominals in to support the lumbar spine. Unlocking the knees. Maybe if your eyes are closed, you feel a gentle sway of the body as you maintain your equilibrium. Just breathe. Relax into the moment. Just letting your breath carry you from moment to moment. You got everything you need here. And then inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, sweeping the arms out to the side, keeping soft knees, reaching down. Inhale, hands lightly to the shins as you come to a tabletop spine, looking down. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to a plank or knee plank if you prefer. From here, come up onto your tiptoes. Keep your elbows nice and close to the rib cage as you come down the chest all the way. Untucking the toes, inhale, baby cobra. Lift the hands off the mat, draw the shoulder blades together, looking down towards the ground. Exhale, down. And then inhale, back up to plank. Exhale to downward dog. Please modify as you need. You don't have to do all the push-ups or back bends if that doesn't float your boat, or you could add extra. Inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, kind of into a plank position. Inhaling it back out. And then exhaling again, and then very gently, quietly place that right foot kind of behind the right hand, coming into a runner's lunge. Breathing here, and then inhaling for a high lunge position. Reaching the arms up. You can always drop the back knee down here if you prefer. Sending energy up through the fingers, lengthening again to the back of the neck, so chin is down. Really reaching up through the arms, through the shoulders. Beautiful. We'll take a little side bend to the right here, bringing the right hand to the right hip, side bending to the right. Keeping your balance. If you lose it, just come back to it. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. And then we're going to step back to a plank or knee plank, or you can skip. Exhaling down to go either halfway or all the way. Inhaling for a baby cobra or a high cobra or an upward facing dog, up to you. And then exhaling back to a down dog. I'm sure wherever you are at, you're doing great. Just do your best. Just stay present and use positive self-talk. That's how you're going to succeed here. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come back, knee to chest. Gently, quietly, left foot forward. Setting up for your high lunge. Inhaling, rising up. Really reaching up through the shoulder girdle, through the arm bones. Common misconception is to keep the shoulders down, but that actually doesn't create enough room in the glenohumeral joint to really get the full range of motion in your shoulders. So really reaching up, drawing the abdominals in. Strong and powerful here, perhaps taking that side bend, left hand to left hip as you reach up and over with the right arm. Perhaps finding a drishti or a focal point to help you maintain your balance. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Stepping back to a plank or a knee plank, or you could skip and go straight to downward dog or child's pose. Then shifting the weight forward on the heels, lowering halfway or all the way. Untucking the toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower, and make your way back to downward facing dog. You can rest here for a few breaths in downward dog, Or you can take a child's pose, sending your hips back over your heels, and you could have the arms out straight or bring the hands back towards the feet and kind of make a little egg shape. Find your breath here, close your eyes. Letting go of the practice thus far, just staying with what is, not defining yourself based on your performance, not looking forward to what's next. You're just here, just enjoying the sensations of moving the body and breathing deeply. Bringing yourself to downward dog if you were not already there. And then walk, step, or lightly hop up towards the front, coming to a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive up. Reaching up. Exhale, hands come down, mountain pose. All right, so moving into some balance, my favorite part. If you're on carpet, give yourself extra grace. That's harder, okay? So we're going to put weight into the left foot and bring the hands to the heart and reach the right leg up. So kind of coming to this 90-degree posture with the knee. Find your balance here. Maybe wiggle the toes around. And we're going to find a flow here, a flow that requires a lot of control, okay? So from here, we're going to open and step out to a warrior two. So you're going to open up to the right and step the right toes far back to a warrior two. Reach the arms out long. And then you could either pivot on your feet like so, or you could do a little hop to switch where your warrior two is. So just turning your feet the other way. So now the right foot's facing forward, left foot's out to the side, and then moving into that single leg stance on the right foot now. So bringing the hands to the heart, loading weight into the right foot, and then however you need to get there, finding the same pose, standing on the right leg. Find your balance, just come back to it if you lose it. Nice. Opening this out, warrior two. Left foot comes far back, open it up, and then you can pivot or jump. Warrior two on the other side. And then we're gonna flow back into standing on one leg on the left. Hold here. Good, so I want you to kind of keep your controlled breathing, your deep breathing, as you just move through this sequence at a pace that makes sense for you. If you really want to focus heavily on the balance portion, you hold that longer. If you want to hold the warriors longer, or just follow along with me. Warrior two. Arms come out. Switch. And then back to balance. Slow, steady, and controlled. Opening it up. Warrior two. It's kind of like a Tai Chi move almost. Arms come out. Pivot or jump. Coming back to your single leg stance on the left. Hold and breathe. Opening it back out. Whatever you're doing, I'm sure you're doing great. Arms come out and switch. And then bringing it back to standing on your right leg. All right, one more time. Opening it out. Warrior two. Arms come out. Switch. And then making your way to standing on your left leg. Good. Stepping it down and shaking it off. Awesome job. And then reaching the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hold here. Whatever variation of forward fold that floats your boat, you can do that now. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and step back to a plank pose. Option to take a knee plank. We're going to be turning this into side plank. So loading weight into the left hand outside the left foot. You could come like this, or you can always drop the back bottom knee. You can stay here, or you could take a tree pose with the right foot. And breathe. Smile. You got this. And then switching sides, right hand comes down, coming onto the outside edge of the right foot. Maybe you drop the right knee. Maybe you come to a tree pose. Maybe take a regular side plank. Challenge yourself. You got this. Breathe, smile. And then slowly, gently bringing yourself back. And then dropping the knees, coming to all fours. Great, great job. If you would like, you could do a downward dog or vinyasa or child's pose. Stretching the arms out long, maybe rolling the forehead side to side. Breathe. And then bringing yourself back up to all fours. We're going to move into pigeon pose. So whatever variation you want to take, or if pigeon pose doesn't suit your hips, you can take maybe a hamstring stretch. So if you're taking a pigeon pose, we're going to bring the right knee up towards the right wrist. We're going to stretch the left leg out long behind you. And then beginning to really kind of flatten the hips out towards the earth. So maybe you kind of stay here and you don't flatten out quite as much, and you stay with the hands up. You could bring the forearms down, or you could bring the forehead down, whatever is most comfortable for you. And stretching that back leg back. And just, not everyone's hips are meant to move like this, so if you get any pain or numbness or tingling, try a different stretch. Maybe knee to your chest or a spinal twist or whatever sounds good. But if this is feeling all right, I want you to try to melt into it. And I want you to close your eyes. And find a part of your body that feels really good here. Focus on that sensation. Really feel what it feels like to stretch. What it feels like to enjoy a stretch. Notice how that feels in your body to nurture it with a stretch. And then if you're ready, We can bring ourselves back up maybe to the forearms if you were on your forehead, back up to the hands. And then we're gonna just bring that back knee up, inching it up, and then coming back to all fours. And maybe shifting around in the hips or stretching out. However you'd like to relieve that kind of deep posture we were in, go ahead and do that. And we'll take a little puppy pose in between. So keeping the hips in line with the knees. Walk your hands out and begin to bring the chest towards the ground. Kind of, this is opening up the fronts of the shoulders, perhaps the upper back. Whatever may be stiff on you, you feel a stretch here. And then bringing yourself back up, and we'll do pigeon on the other side. So bringing the left knee up towards the left wrist, slightly bringing the left foot to the right, beginning to inch the right foot back behind you. Okay? And then maybe you stay up on the hands, or maybe you come down to the forearms or the forehead. It's up to you. And just monitor how you feel, not pushing it too hard. It's not a good stretch for you if it's not feeling quite right. So taking care of your body, honoring the signals it gives you. And breathe, relax, perhaps close your eyes. Notice what part feels good here. Notice what it feels like to stretch and to enjoy the stretch. And when you're ready, we're going to swing that right leg straight around. And we're going to stretch into kind of a straddle position, or with the legs kind of out to a V. So I really like it. If you feel stiff here, I really like the idea of if you could bend your knees, if this is more tolerable, so you kind of keep a straighter spine. You could just stay here, or maybe fold forward, or you're here and you kind of stretch forward. So think about keeping a nice long spine and bend the knees as much as you need, and then you're hinging at the hips to come forward. So whether you're here or here, then walking the hands over to the right leg, and maybe you kind of get a stretch through the left side of your body as well. And then walking the hands over to the left leg. And then bringing it back to center. And then you can end this class with me in sitting or lying down, however you'd like to take this kind of final mind yummy cleansing moment. I promise you, you'll be glad you stayed with me through this. It'll feel good. So wherever you can, kind of relax and close your eyes, especially if you're doing this at night before bed. You could lay on the ground and do this. Unclenching the jaw, relaxing your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Allowing your eyeballs to fall deep into their sockets. Relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing your legs and your arms and your glutes. Just letting everything relax, not requiring much effort here. Please gather all of your personal belongings And notice what it feels like to just be still, to find silence within your body. And perhaps to find some silence within your mind. Even for just a moment. Where you just feel your body being breathed. You feel your heart beating. And you just are here now. That's all there is. Notice if it feels good to feel that kind of quietude within the body and perhaps within the mind. And I promise you, you're doing it right. It is hard to harness the mind. So even if you just, for a moment, find a sense of peace, that's enough. Or even if you just try, that's enough. It's a practice. Taking a deep breath in and out. And I welcome you later today, or maybe tomorrow if you're doing this late, to try to find this stillness within the body/mind for at least one more moment at a separate time. So maybe you're waiting for something or have a break somewhere, even if it's just 5 to 10 seconds where you notice your body, you notice your thoughts, and without judgment, you're just like, okay, I'm okay. Give it a try. If you're ready to move on from this practice and just let it go, you could end laying on your back or come up to a seated position like me, maybe bringing the hands to the heart or together in a prayer position. Just exhaling any stale energy you don't need anymore. Exhaling the practice, the past, anything we just did. And as you inhale, bringing in new life, the new present moment. And you can move on from here with fresh eyes and fresh perspective and a fresh body. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, friends. Love that you're part of this community. I see you, I love you, and I hope to see you back for more. All right, bye.